Do you think you're a lazy person sometimes? Do you struggle to sit down and do stuff, important things, things that you gotta do? If so, I can relate with you very much. Back when I used to, go to high school and college, I was a huge procrastinator. Like, if I had a paper that was due on Monday morning, I would start it Sunday night. I would be in the library printing that paper 1 minute before class. So I know what it's like. ChatGPT did not exist back when I was going to school. If it did, I would have used that. It would have saved me a lot of time. But anyway, that's away from the point. Procrastination. This was a pattern that had repeated throughout my life of just waiting to do things, putting things off, thinking I had time, not taking care of the hard things, just having difficulty doing the hard things. Maybe you could relate with that. So let's understand procrastination. Why do we procrastinate? Why is it so difficult for people to do the things, important things, things that they gotta do? There is an actual scientific explanation why most people procrastinate. So according to Sharon Green, who specializes in treating anxiety and depression in kids, adolescents, and adults, procrastination is really a struggle between a person's limbic system and a person's prefrontal cortex. So the limbic system is the part of the brain which is the more primal part of the brain. Now this is the part of the brain that seeks out pleasure and wants to avoid discomfort. While the prefrontal cortex, which is the more recently evolved portion of our brain right here in the front, is responsible for analytical thinking, decision making, planning, and impulse control. Our limbic systems only want pleasure. It wants instant gratification. You can think of your limbic system as that part of your brain that craves instant gratification. It wants what feels good. It wants to be relieved of discomfort now. It's not thinking about the future. It doesn't care about that. So most people, their limbic systems, they're being ruled by their limbic systems, while their prefrontal cortexes, which should have a more powerful influence on their behavior, is weakened. Our prefrontal cortex does not fully mature until our mid to late 20s. So this explains why many young people struggle to do work, why they procrastinate, and why they make stupid, impulsive decisions. A lot of them. I'm talking about myself when I was younger. A lot of dumb things. Sure, I'm sure you did too. If you're liking the video so far, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and don't forget to do that. Hit that button real quick while you're here. Might as well do it. Here's a question. How do we develop our prefrontal cortex to be stronger, to have a larger influence than our limbic system? Okay. So the first step is to cultivate awareness. Now, you can't solve a problem unless you're aware when that problem rises, and then you take note of that. Then you can do something about it. So, for this, a good strategy to do is to have a journal, and at the end of the day, write down all the times you were distracted or procrastinating or just doing things that you shouldn't be doing, like scrolling, like watching TV, like maybe eating snacks just because you're bored. Anytime you're just making impulsive decisions, become aware of that. Awareness is the first step. Now, another question we should ask ourselves is, how do we increase impulse control? Now, for this, it's going to be daily meditation. Now, meditation is one of the best things that you can do to strengthen your prefrontal cortex. Now, what meditation essentially does is that it develops attentional control, the ability for you to control where you place your attention, for how long, and with how much intensity, essentially. Procrastination is essentially you don't have control of your attention. Your attention is jumping from this to that. It's jumping to that which has the least resistance, the least amount of sort of effort required. It's looking for stimulation. While meditation, if you meditate, it strengthens that part of your brain which you can hold your attention to something, things that are important, things that you have to do until it is done. So meditation is incredibly powerful. You gotta meditate. If you're not meditating, you don't have to meditate long. Without attentional control, you are at the mercy of whatever impulse is strongest in the moment. In other words, you'll be a dumbass. Now, next thing, number 2, you need to eat for optimal brain function. Now, this took me many years to recognize and to find something that worked for me. So, one of the biggest causes of procrastination and just not doing things you have to do is brain fog. Your brain literally doesn't have the energy to do whatever you have to do. And what causes brain fog? For me personally, this, you could probably relate to this, eating too many carbohydrates. Eating too many carbs earlier in the day. Now, I used to wake up and have a bowl of cereal with milk in there, and there would be like 100 grams of carbs. I would eat that and I would feel tired after. Literally, after I wake up, I would feel tired, and I would eat tons of rice, tons of beans, and I would have this lethargic feeling. And I always thought, just confused, because I thought I was eating healthy, but what I was doing wrong, I was eating too many carbs. Carbs are not bad, but the thing about carbs is that it slows down your brain, especially if you eat it for breakfast and lunch. So the best thing is to save the carbs for dinner or minimize them very much. I don't eat my first meal till 3 p.m., 2 to 3 p.m., and I keep the carbs very minimal, under 30 grams of carbs, and I keep it mostly protein and fat. And when I eat like this, I don't get a crash. I don't get a food coma. I still feel good. I still feel mentally like energized. I don't have that slowness, that lethargic feeling that you usually get from eating high carbohydrate foods. For like 2-3 hours, you feel lethargic. So experiment with cutting your carbs, reducing them for breakfast and lunch, saving it for dinner. Another thing is to remove all of the junk food out of your diet. Take out the sodas, take out the candies, the fast food. Either eliminate it entirely or reduce it significantly. Now, I'll be honest, I still have In-N-Out burger every now and then, but I never have it earlier in the day. And every time I eat it, I feel the sort of, the negatives of eating it. Just cut out most of that junk food and crap and sugar, because it is literally poison for your body and your brain. It doesn't serve you any purpose. It only tastes good in the tongue, but in terms of nutrition, it doesn't do anything for you. So just recognize every time you eat junk food, it's literally like imagine going to the gas station and just putting apple juice in your car. Like, it's going to mess up your car. It's not going to work. You have to put in the right fuel for the vehicle. You are probably not lazy. You're probably not lazy. Probably. You just feed your body the wrong foods, too many carbs, junk food, and you don't train your prefrontal cortex with meditation. If you do those two things, for the next 7 days, meditate for 15 minutes a day. Just take the time, meditate for 15 minutes a day. Sit, observe your breathing, observe your thoughts for 15 minutes. and reduce your carbohydrates for breakfast and lunch. Save them for dinner. I'm telling you, you are going to notice a difference in your cognitive function. I'm telling you. Try it for 7 days and you'll see that it makes a significant difference. That's the video today, guys. Thank you for watching. My name is Robert. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, any questions, whatever you want to share down below. And we got more videos on the way. So have a fantastic day. See you in the next one.